Bonjour tout le monde! Today we're talking about les verbes d'orthographe changeante, or stem changing, spelling changing verbs. What is a stem changing verb? It is a regular ER verb that is conjugated just like a regular ER verb, but they have one small difference in that you have a spelling change in the stem. If we remember, the stem of a verb is what comes before its infinitive ending. So we'll see, we have this example, répéter. And if you take a look, the stem right here is répète, right? It is what is left after you drop the infinitive ending. In order to conjugate répéter, you'll put your stem in all of the persons, and then you'll add your ending according to whatever your subject is. Now, because répéter is a stem-changing verb, you're going to look inside of the stem, and depending on what type of verb it is, it will have a stem change, a spelling change. So you'll see for répéter, the second E accent aigu will change to an E accent grave. So we have je répète, tu répètes, il est l'on répète. For the nous and the vous form, this does not happen at all. So we have nous répétons, vous répétez, and il and elle répètent. So how do you conjugate it? 3 steps. Drop the infinitive ending. Conjugate like a regular ER verb. And then the third step is to change the spelling according to the group. You will not change the spelling in the nous and the vous form. It's just how it happens. So let's take a look. We have the verb balayer, which is a Y to I stem changer. Our stem is balay, B-A-L-A-Y. It's what's left after we drop the ER. Now here is conjugating like a regular ER verb. We have balayer, E-E-S-E, O-N-S, E-Z, and then E-N-T. And then that third step is that balayer is a Y to I verb. So we will take the Y and we will change it to I. So je balaye, tu balayes, il et l'on balaye, nous balayons, vous balayez, il elle balaye. You'll see all those Y's change to I's, except for in the nous and the vous form. You'll see this looks kind of like a boot. So these can also be called boot verbs because they'll change their stem in the boot. There are 6 categories of stem changers. Our first is E-L-E-R verbs. So if your verb ends in E-L-E-R, it is going to have a single L to double L stem change. An example would be appeler, which ends in E-L-E-R. And it would change when conjugated to j'appelle, double the L, and then you have your regular ER ending according to the je subject. Some other examples, we have appeler, épeler, rappeler, renouveler. Make sure you copy down these in your notes. And then our exceptions, verbs that do end in E-L-E-R, but they stem change like a different verb, are sceller, ciseler, démanteler, écarteler, geler, harceler, marteler, modeler, peler, and their derivatives. So like if we see repeler or something like that, remodeler, they'll be conjugated like E consonant ER verbs, and we'll take a look at those later. Our next stem change is E-T-E-R verbs. We'll take that single T and we'll double it when it's conjugated. An example would be jeter, elle plural, we would have the ENT ending, and our stem change would be to double the T, so elle jette. Other examples of ETER verbs are fouilleter, octer, jeter, projeter, and rejeter. Exceptions to the rule would be verbs like acheter, corseter, crocheter, fileter, fiorter, et halter. These are all conjugated like E consonant ER verbs. Again, we're going to look over those. Here are our E consonant ER verbs. What's going to happen here is you can have 1 or 2 consonants in that space. So example, we have acheter, the consonant is a T. For an E consonant ER verb, you're going to take that first E that comes before the ending, that comes before the consonant, and you're going to turn it into an E accent grave. A lot of these verbs might have multiple E's in them, so you have to make sure that this is the E that comes right before the consonant or 2 consonants that are before that infinitive ending. Right here you see acheter turns into j'achète. This is the E that came before the T right before the infinitive ending ER. So we drop the ER add the E, and then change this E to an E accent grave. Examples, acheter, emmener, emmener, enlever, geler, harceler, lever, mener, peler, peser, and promener. You'll see a lot of these also fit into the ELER and the ETER categories, but they actually will be conjugated like an E consonant ER. Our next category is E accent aigu consonant or two consonants, ER, which will change our E accent aigu, which came before the infinitive ending, to an E accent grave. An example, we have céder, and our conjugation is to cède. We dropped the ER, added an ES for the to form, and then took that E that was right before the consonant, right before the ending, and changed it to an E accent grave. Some examples of these are céder, célébrer, compléter, considérer, différer, espérer, exagérer, gérer, inquiéter, modérer, posséder, préférer, protéger, refléter, répéter, suggérer, and zébrer. Oh, and révéler. That one's a little weird in that space. Okay, so all of these have an E consonant, E accent aigu consonant ER. Our next category is OYER or UYER verbs. We're going to take that Y coming before the ER and turning it into an I. So we have the example envoyer, and it turns into the L form, elle envoie. You see, I changed the Y to an I, and I have my L form ending. Some examples, we have employer, envoyer, nettoyer, se noyer, renvoyer, tutoyer, vous voyez, appuyer, ennuyer, and essuyer. And then our last set of stem changers is optional. If your verb ends in AYER, you can change the Y to an I. For example, we have payer, and right here in our first example, we have to pay, and we change the I to a Y. But it's also optional, so you can actually keep the Y, so you have to pay. They're not pronounced any differently. Nothing's different about it. One is not better than the other. It's just optional. Some other AYERs are balayer, effrayer, essayer, and payer. Now, in your notes, you need to make sure that you've got at least 2 examples of each of the 6 types of stem changers, and you want all of the exceptions to any of the exceptions that I listed. You want those because it's very, very important that you know. All right? Now for your à buffet, to get a little bit of practice, please write these answers down in your notes. We have 6 questions. I just want you to conjugate that verb according to the subject. Remember, we have 3 steps. First, you drop the infinitive ending, then you add your new present tense ending, and then you make the stem change according to which stem changing verb it is. Okay? We will go over this in class tomorrow. À bientôt!